Hello, lovely people. Welcome to the channel. It's Rad. Just give me a second here to sort some things out, and we'll be ready to begin. Yeah. Uh, right. So, weekly for the next week, which happens to be 12th of December up until 18th of December. And as we all know by now, I'm going to start with the collective reading. So, good evening, Queen. Welcome to the stream. Hope you do enjoy your time here. So if you had observed the thumbnail of the live stream, you would have saw those 4 cards. They are actually 5, but one of them it is a addition to the second card. So those 4 primary cards. Now the first one that we do have, that's going to be the Fool card, followed by the Knight of Cups. Moving on next, that's going to be the Three of Cups, the 4th card, and the final one for the spread. On top of that, this will be the Seven of Pentacles, and the additional card to the Knight of Cups. So let me put these things down. So the additional one to the Knight of Cups, this will be the Seven of Cups. Okay, so we do have the Knight of Cups and Seven of Cups, passive supporters as an elemental dignity. So one more time the spread, guys, before I move to the interpretation. Jasmine, thank you again for your $19.99 US. No, thank you, Jasmine. You are unbelievably generous. It's just, oh, thank you so much. You will have your reading at the end of the stream if you are here. Well, nonetheless, you're going to have it, but if you don't stay up until the end, then you will have to actually find it through the channel once YouTube releases it, which happens a couple of hours after the stream is done. So again, the cards one more time. First one, that will be the Fool card, followed by the second one, which stands as the Knight of Cups. The third card that we do have for the week, this is going to be the Three of Cups. And thank you, Jasmine. Thank you. And the last one, Seven of Pentacles. So the week is going to bother somebody, all right? But that set aside, actually the week will give us an opening, for the lack of a better word. I mean, we do have the Fool, which happens to be the very first card. That is literally the topic of the week. And everybody knows that the Fool card is about a new beginning. However, there are a few stipulations to it. I mean, it's never too easy. It's never too simple. But what carries on with the Fool card, it is a new beginning that actually has nothing to do with the past. Therefore, we are not gonna carry on any baggage with it. So that automatically excludes reminiscent situations. Like, for example, a job that kind of like looks like the last one you had, or a relationship that looks like the last one you had. So we are going to be gifted, or rather like presented with the gift of a brand new experiences that this week has to offer. And by the way, we are going to be very, very eager to approach it for what we can see into the cards. And as well, once we do start walking down that road, there are going to be immediate results right there. I mean, we ain't going to have the time to think about and figure out, is it really worth it or not, because we are instantly going to see that yes, it's worth it. On top of all that, almost everyone, and I'm saying almost 99% of the people which are around us, they are going to be genuinely happy for that we now have something to look forward to into the future, except that one here, Knight of Cups, right? That it is catalyzed with the Seven of Cups, that elemental dignity in between these two cards, passive supporters. So what is this person, or it could be also society or organization, is really all about? Well, truth be told, guys, I really hate those kind of people, because their premise is that they know better what is best for us. It's kind of like they think, and when I say think, I really want to emphasize on that. It's they are convinced, not just only thinking, but they are convinced that they can offer more, right? They can offer more, and we are going to be happier with them under their rules. But the truth of the matter is, it is that they do everything for themselves and no one else. Okay, that is no different than, for example, the abusive spouse that thinks that you are happy with them and you are never going to be happy with anyone else but them. You know, God forbid if you find someone else to love, what you are going to do, right? But it will be very important to kind of make a sever that unhealthy, noxious, whichever way you want to call it, a type of interaction, maybe a relationship as well. Because one more time, guys, these people do everything for themselves and for their own well-being and their own good. You will recognize them very easily. I mean, they are willing to promise you anything, but actually they will go back on their word as soon as you agree, all right? As soon as this opening, this opportunity, this new beginning is past you and you can't be a part of it anymore, guess what? Old song is gonna start singing one more time with that individual, and you pretty much are gonna feel very, very stuck with it. However, if you do take on this new opening and new beginning, by the end of the week, a very important event is going to happen to each one of us. Okay, what kind of an event? Well, that is going to be very personal. Some people are going to find a new job, others are going to find a new person to date with, whatever the case. Okay, but basically this event is going to make you reconsider your past and which things you allow to slide, and therefore making that reassessment. You're not going to allow those things to slide anymore, and basically you ain't going to feel cornered the same way you felt before under the circumstances, so to speak. So that is the collective reading uplifting week, especially for those of you guys who, how can I put it into words, don't have anything to look forward to, or even you think that your life kind of loses meaning. We all have these states, you know. I had it a few times in my life where I was waking up every morning thinking, what's the point, you know, of going forward? But there is always a point, and if you think that way, well, the week that comes, that is following 12th to 18th, you are to see why you are waking up every morning. So with that said, this is the collective, and now a few notes about the show before I actually move to the 12 star signs. There are going to be 12 readings in this live stream. General readings for each star sign, one reading per star sign. I'm going to start with Aries, I'm going to end up with Pisces. However, in between, 3 of you can have a free reading with me. Okay, so the first person that can have a free reading with me is going to be after I'm done with Cancer. Then I'm going to announce a break and you get to ask a question you want me to read for with the tarot cards. If there are any questions, I'm going to pick one and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Should there be no questions, I'm just going to move on to the next four star signs. Then the second one is going to be after Scorpio, and the third one at the end is going to be after Pisces. And after that, the super chat readings are going to take place. So if anyone decides to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you guys are going to get a weekly reading at the end of the stream. That's pretty much guaranteed. Should your super chat be $20 or above, you are going to have that very same format of reading, 4 cards for the week that I just did for the collective, and that I'm going to do for each star sign. Also, don't forget that it is important that you do listen to all 3 of your signs: the sun sign, the rising sign, and as well the moon sign. No, I haven't. But now I see it. Thank you. All right. So Lenormand for you, Jasmine. Then it's not going to be a weekly reading because you don't have control over those cards. All right. They show what they show. When it's going to happen, we don't know. Right. Lenormand it is then. Yes, you can say that. You can say that. All right. So with that said, starting with the first star sign, which is going to be Aries. By the way, you can keep track on the star signs by the glyph displayed over here. Right. First one for Aries, not a good start. 3 of Swords for Aries, followed by the second card of the Ace of Pentacles. Moving on next, we do have that's Justice. Followed by the 2 of Pentacles. We do have a saving grace at the end, but unfortunately for you, Aries, at least according to my cards now, you are, feel free to agree to disagree, all right? But according to these cards, the week is going to be considered quite wasted from your behalf. Although, if you are looking at really from the bright side, okay, you can consider it as a trial and error, because according to these cards, it will be rather quite difficult for you to find the point of a breakthrough from one or another thing. It does look like that opportunity to further your goal is going to elude you for quite some time throughout the week, even for the entire week. Because at the end of the week, although we do have a saving grace, that is just you do realizing what you are doing wrong, because there are going to be quite a few things that you are unfortunately going to do wrong, not to the extent, however, to go beyond the point of no return, so to speak. So yeah, it truly is going to be trial and error. And for some of you guys, you may be even quite hard on yourself. Quite hard on yourself in a sense of that, blaming yourself that you can't do better. Well, believe it or not, it's just what the time is. Okay, because we do have the Justice here into the 3rd position, which is a validation that you will give your best to the best of your abilities. You ain't gonna hold back at all, regardless what we're talking about, whether career or whether relationship. But people are not gonna be easy on you too, and you are to be criticized, put down by words. What I like to call it, it is a mental cruelty, okay? And it will be very important that you do not allow this completely unconstructive, if that's a word, well, basically that criticism is gonna lack constructive sense at all. So it will be very important not to allow these thoughts to make you feel down, because then you are going to diminish in performance. Very important is that you do keep up with the performance regardless how you assess that performance, because it's going to be good, not by your standards though. So the whole week is going to feel that you do make one step forward as a progress, and then you are bounced a couple of steps backwards, and it's going to feel like you are degrading rather than upgrading. But by the end of the week, you will realize why. Now we do have that Two of Pentacles, which is at the last card. That is the wraparound, okay, of the week. And the Two of Pentacles shows that some of your concepts and even plans a bit outdated. Now the situation evolved in such a way that they are unapplicable. Well, you can apply them, but nothing much is going to come out of it, right? And so by the end of the week, you're going to start making and forging new concepts, new plans, which are going to work. But what those new concepts and new plans are going to be, well, you got to learn that through the trial and error. And that's why it's very important that you don't back off the week. You do not, that you don't, how can I put it into words? Stop doing what you are doing, for a lack of better word. And so, yeah, unfortunately, Aries, we're not starting great here, but hey, at the end of the day, it seems that you are gonna figure it out. So moving on, next we do have Taurus. First one for Taurus, Six of Pentacles, followed by the second one, which is the Three of Pentacles. Moving on, next we do have the King of Pentacles. And the final card, that's going to be the Nine of Wands. For the King of Pentacles, additional one, it is the Emperor. Okay, that is how the elemental dignity falls. That is what kind of an individual or organization we do have that is gonna help you big time throughout the week, help you invest in you, so to speak. Those are the two cards. So I love that elemental dignity, because these people or that person will invest. Well, and the investment could be money, it could be time, okay, it could be emotions, but as they do invest, they will not strive to take away your freedom. Okay, so that isn't an investment. It's almost feel, how can I put it into words? It almost feels like it's a charity right away. You know, you have a business, someone comes and say, hey, I love what you're doing, so I'm gonna give you this money. And believe it or not, recently I listened to a particular failure about a video game that it was financed on a good word for $500,000, and they just took the money and did nothing with it. Actually, they did a lot with it. I mean, they spent it on cars, real estate, and so on and so forth, but nothing in the actual investment. So yeah, I mean, you are to be addressed with an investment that will require nothing in return. It's not going to take away your freedom in any way. But this is going to be the attitude of but one person, okay? The rest, you are not going to see much of a cooperation whatsoever. I mean, we do have the Three of Pentacles into the second position, which pretty much speaks that people are kind of like, they will strive to support you through your development so they can stab your back. So be very careful whom you are trusting throughout the week. In fact, having that Six of Pentacles at the start of the reading pretty much means that you should strive to do almost everything by yourself, and only you should accept help, because that's not really a help, it's an investment. So you should accept investment, Taurus, only if there are no stipulations behind it whatsoever. There are no strings attached with it whatsoever. And once you do so, you are going to have a lot of room for maneuvering. You definitely can versatilize, if that's a word, pretty much your environment, career-wise, relationship-wise as well. But throughout the week that it is coming, guys, you should kind of like trust your healthy sense of mistrust should there be strings attached, no matter what you are to be offered or presented from your colleagues, boss, friends, etc., etc. And the result of this investment will allow you to make your life much more comfortable and make certain changes that you couldn't by that point. So this is where the investment is going to strive to be at, right? Where you want to change things, but you can't because you are lacking certain resource. And under resource, that could be a motivation, it could be money, or it could be someone's efforts, and so on and so forth. So that is your week. Other than that, with your personal endeavors, Taurus, you will see nothing but harmony. In fact, you will be able to solve some problems that concern only yourself. They are very personal, very intimate problems that regard only you and no one else. Moving on, next we do have Gemini. Right, so for Gemini, first one, that's going to be the Strength, followed by the second card, which stands as the Six of Cups. Moving on next, that's going to be the Sun card. And the final one, it is the Nine of Cups. Pretty straightforward, Gemini. I mean, guys, you gotta cut the crap and stop making, let's put it that words, excuses, right? That Six of Cups into the second position, it speaks that you may not realizing it, sometimes you are doing that thing unconsciously, right? But one way or another, Six of Cups into the second position, almost every time it kind of means that you are trying to go the easy way around it, the easy route about it. Just very simple example, let's say that you fought with your spouse, right? And instead of you calling up and engaging in a conversation, you are about to wait them to call you, right? That's the easy way around it, isn't it? And probably you are expecting an apology that probably is not going to come about, just so you know. However, the week is about growth, and that's why you should stop making excuses and in some big extent being lazy, right? Having that strength into the first position, it speaks that throughout the week there will be a high effort, high reward type of enterprise, whether relationship or whether a project, or whether a new business even, it could be the case. And the Sun into the third position says that will be it will come very natural to you. I mean, you don't have to even break a freaking sweat about it, but it will be a time consuming. It will be like going in the gym, right? It's like you do all the exercises, and it's an effort, but it is a sweet effort. And that is how this enterprise is gonna play out unless you are making an excuses not to start it or not to be a part of it, or or not to pursue it one way or the other. One more thing though, throughout the week, is that you Gemini, whichever situation you find yourself into, from the most sweetest one to the most ugly one, you're always gonna know what kind of behavior to put out there so things doesn't get out of control whatsoever. But once you do take on this new enterprise, by the end of the week, you are going to find yourself quite successful in it. In fact, more successful than you probably had expected. You are going to be very happy about it for what those cards are showing. And as the Nine of Cups states, your experiences are going to be life fulfillment, sensual joy, content, and so on and so forth. Very, very happy. But you need to know that nothing is for granted. Now, the Nine of Cups represents a short-term happiness unless you do not strive to sustain it, do your part of sustenance out there, then you can transform it into a long-lasting one. No different than dreaming to be in a relationship with someone and finally that relationship happens, but that's not for granted, right? I mean, that person can break up with you anytime if you do not live up to, not to their standards, but to the standards of the relationship. So the efforts are just beginning to be demanded. Okay, so that's why it's very important. Once you do accomplish whatever you are after, bear in mind that you will have to maintain it. You gotta put efforts to maintain it. Chandra, thank you so much for the $19.99 US. Thank you, Chandra. At the end of the stream, you're going to have your weekly reading that it is personalized for you. So make sure that you do stay up until that point. Let me put you into the list. All right. All right, next we do have Cancer. So for the Cancer, King of Swords. Sorry, so King of Swords, it is the first one, followed by the Seven of Swords. In the service of others, it does look like. It is how your week is going to be. Afterwards, that is going to be the Ten of Pentacles. And the final one, we do have the Knight of Swords. So very specific case, what we do have here, most likely, well, most of you are going to have an old friend, or maybe an ex as well, that's also possible, to call you out for help. I mean, they're going to have a difficulty, they're going to call you out. If you can help them, you can. Should you? Well, that depends entirely on you. Now, within those cards, there is a guidance of should you help them. And what the cards state is that you should help them only if that serves your purpose. I mean, that person is back into your life and they are feeling a gap, they're filling up a void, and as they are gonna have use of you, you also must find use of them as well. It's like a symbiosis that needs to take place there. Other than that, it seems that this for you, Cancer, is going to be a week of resolutions. Your concerns, your difficulties are going to be resolved, most likely through a professional help. You have troubles with the law, well, your lawyer is going to resolve the issues to the best of their abilities, that is, or to the best it can be resolved. you have a health issues, well, your physician, if you go there, right, is also going to find the problem and most likely resolve it. And any kind of issue that you do have here is going to be resolved through careful analysis. After that, a effective treatment or a strategy or a movement is going to be assigned that, should you follow, the way out of the difficulties is going to be revealed for you. It's not going to be that difficult to follow that treatment quote in quote, right? In fact, it's going to be pretty how can I put it into words? For lack of a better word, I'm going to say free. I mean, you're going to have a lot of room to wriggle yourself into, okay? And substitute one thing over another is not going to feel oppressive, like a very, very strict diet, for example, right? But also the week, if an old friend doesn't call you, you are going to benefit a lot if you do. It's not even a reconciliation, it's more like catching up with an old friend that it is nagging in your mind up until this point, because by the end of the week it does look like that you are going to have a few decisions to make. I cannot tell you what about, but as the week, it will concern, or rather like it will refer to your concerns or the unsolved ones, because not everyone, not can I put it into words? Nobody can resolve all of their issues, right? But by the end of the week, for the most of them, it will stand a choice that is not a much of a choice, because it's going to play very much into your benefit. So the best decision you can make is also going to be the decision that you want to make as well. So how can I put it into words? It's just, you are not going to be forced to do something you don't like. About the troubles you do have into your job, for example, or within your relationship as well. And also Cancer, by the end of the week, there will be some kind of a important, maybe as well shocking information that is going to come your way that you can actually put into work and get a lot of benefits from it as well. Taco, thank you so much for your 22 US dollars. Thank you, Taco. What will be your week like? We're gonna check that at the end of the stream, mate. Anna, welcome to the stream as well. Hope you do enjoy your time being here. Let me put you into the list, Taco. So now the first free reading. One of you can have it. All you gotta do is just input a question into the comments down below, and you do have a 5 minutes to claim it. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. I know what it is to be in pain. It's the worst. Yeah, Painter Lee, thank you for reminding me that's a mine line, right? It's my line that I'm supposed to say every time. Yeah, guys, if you do enjoy the show, please give a like. It doesn't hurt you, it doesn't take away anything from you, but actually it helps a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Zebra, welcome to the stream. Hope you do enjoy your show, or rather like our show, and hope you do enjoy your time. 4 minutes for the free reading to be claimed. Who wants to claim it? Well, Queen, I cannot exactly answer that question, because Tarot is never gonna take away the freedom of choice of anyone, and you being assigned, or rather like you being hired, well, that's a choice of someone. But I can tell you the likelihood of it. I mean, I can tell you what impression you made. Charlie, why your Tauruses keep taking you back? Probably because you are irresistible. I mean, what are you doing that you are thrown away at the first place, mate? And then you wanna come back? Because if you don't want to come back, she cannot take you back. Oh. Well, at least we do have a lucky one here. With you, Charlie, you know, some people cannot even make an impression. And you, it seems that you can't get rid of the person. A minute, guys. And after that, it's going to be one of the two questions, or another one if it pops up. No. Oh, news. You are in Australia? Yeah, that kind of. Hey, Mattia, welcome to the stream. Cheers. By the way, I don't know when I'm gonna open up that wine over there, right? But I am going to very, very soon. It's kind of like it's sitting here now 2 years. All right. We do have a question, which is with a sense of emergency. That's the Liz question. Rumors that are going to, the rumors are late that people are going to be pretty much fired. So Liz is asking, how is her career looking? All right, let's check it out, Liz. Well, are you working on night shifts then? Oh, you were on, I don't know, UK. Oh, doing early shifts. How early are those shifts? I mean, now in UK it should be 1:37 a.m. Wow, Mattia, I don't watch football. I mean, it's called football. I mean, come on, you are European. It's not called soccer. I mean, in United States they call it a soccer, but in Europe that's football. Those are the 4 cards for you, Liz. According to them, it seems that you are worrying in vain for your career, right? Now, having that 4 of Wands into the 3rd position, because I cannot tell you are you gonna be laid off or not. Like I said, that's a choice of someone else. However, right, even if it happens so, that 4 of Wands promises quite of a good references that you can use to find maybe even a better job, because that 5 of Swords being at the end, it seems that there is a, and I'm saying quote unquote, danger, although it's not going to be really a danger, all right? Danger to kind of like try to out jump yourself of where you can start a job and actually take a job that could be a little bit more than you can handle. And when I say a little bit more than you can handle, it's kind of like it's going to be more stressful than it should be if you went for a bit lower job. But according to the card, you are worrying in vain with your career, and that worry could make you do some irrational actions here, having it temperance into the second position. Basically, that card says that don't quit your job unless you are laid off, because not just only probably you are to be compensated, but as well the references, and you are going to have no problem finding a new job maybe a couple of weeks later to a month or two maximum. All right, so don't you worry, kind of like chill out, and things are going to be just fine with your career. Nothing bad is going to happen. Sometimes though, being laid off actually opens up a new bridges in your life, makes you excel, makes you grow, makes you find a new talents of sort that you do have. It's a long journey. Well, yeah, I remember when I was working in England, um, our executive director in the office, he lived like hour and a 45 minutes drive, and that is if there is no traffic, right? I don't know why you would have do that to yourself. I mean, you are basically living for the work and nothing else, because you wake up 4 in the morning, you fix yourself 5:30, you gotta leave your house so you can be 7 at best, at the office, because you are executive director, you gotta be earlier than others. And then you leave the office at about 6:30, maybe 7. You go home, you have the dinner, and it is 10 a.m 10 p.m, you gotta go to bed. It's just, it doesn't make much sense to me. I don't want that kind of a job, no matter how much money it's gonna give me. It's a waste. All right, you're wasting your life making someone else richer. That's my take on it, my personal take. Okay, a minute, and then we're moving to the next 4 star signs, which are going to be Leo, Virgo, Libra, and then Scorpio. Well, exactly, Liz, because when you can't do anything about those things, how can I put it into words? I mean, worrying about things you do not control, it just makes your life 10 times worse, if not 100-fold worse. Because yeah, news, I mean, in that kind of jobs, you live for the holiday once an year, when you go to some kind of an exotic country, and that's about it. That's about it. Maybe Saturdays, but how much you are in the mood in Saturdays with all that work you did into I bet that these people, they just don't, they just want to be in front of the TV, and do nothing into the Saturdays and Sundays. They don't want to do anything. I wouldn't want to do anything. And Sundays are not much of a holiday, because you are preparing for Monday, right? I mean, uh, mentally you are preparing yourself for Mondays. Anna, thank you so much for your $20 support. Thank you, Anna. Make sure that you do stay by the end, where you can have your personalized reading. All right, next, Leo. Well, it's good to have plans, It's just, you know, there should be some room to for variables, because sometimes when you do have a strict plans, things go down the sink very, very quickly. All right, guys, Leo. First one for Leo, that's gonna be the Nine of Wands, followed by the second card of the Lovers. Third card we have for Leo, that's gonna be the World. And the final one for Leo, Four of Cups. Okay, so the week is kind of like a wraparound for you, Leo, where, you know, throughout the week you are gonna do the finalizing stuff about your work or about a undertakings into your relationship, for that matter. It is just having the Lovers being there into the second position. It kind of points that there isn't much of a choice for you to make, because, you know, things that already had been decided. In fact, how can I put it into words? The finalization of all that, it is just nigh, and you just have to get it done throughout the week whatsoever. And for what those cards are showing, there are going to be very sweet fruits coming out of it. All right, the results you will really enjoy, maybe you also gonna really love. But by the end of the week, Leo, you will realize that those results are not quite enough for you, that is. I mean, they are very satisfiable. You will mark them as successful results, okay? For you, for example, chasing a relationship, for you, for example, chasing a job or a client, whatever the case. But once you reach results in there, like I said, you will realize that you should not stop there, but actually go for something else, go for something more. And the end of the week is going to be you contemplating what else you can do, right? What else you can accomplish, what else you can acquire, a new acquisition being in there. Other than that, it seems that this week you will stabilize, and not just only stabilize, but also make your life and your experience is way more comfortable than before. It's a unique week where it's going to be given to you the opportunity to make adjustments that are going to relate completely to you. They're going to correlate to your understanding, they're going to correlate to your preferences and to your wishes as well. And these are going to be conscious changes that you will have a chance to do. Are you going to do it? Well, that depends entirely on you. Something fuzzy for the people that are looking for love, and you are Leo. Very big chance, guys, to connect with someone that will be actually your double, in a sense of that whatever you like, they're gonna like it as well. Make it what you will from it, okay? But it seems that if you do decide to connect with that person and to commit, that commitment is gonna linger for a very, very long time. News Devon, thank you so much for the 449 British pounds. Thank you, News. What's coming your way today? All right, we're gonna check on that at the end of the stream. Okay, so that was Leo. Now moving on, next we do have Virgo. But yeah, News Devon, sometimes there are times in life that you just have to take what you can get. Because, you know, freedom is good and all that, but at the end of the day, you gotta eat as well, right? Virgo. First one, that's gonna be the King of Swords, followed by, that's like was it like Cancer? Yeah, I believe it was like Cancer reading. Seven of Swords is the next one, followed by the Ten of Pentacles. And then we have the World. It's exactly like Cancer, with exception of the World, which is at the end. It is literally exactly like Cancer, with a friend reaching out, or an ex maybe, that will require from you to help them with something, right? It's just, Virgo, your experience is also going to be in a service of others, like solving, or rather like resolving, connecting, helping people that's, how can I put it into words, people that come on man, the word, people that you do have a history with, right? But this time around, you can really make a difference, and oh boy, what a difference you are going to make. Although it's gonna feel throughout the week that, you know, you are wasting yourself, but that's actually not true, because for what it seems, this help that you are going to exert, guys, that contribution, it's not even a help, it's more like a contribution, is gonna leave a mark for the rest of their lives. And in my opinion, if you want to change the opinion of someone because they haven't saw you really for what you are and what you are made of, it's that's the week. Literally, that's the week. But by the end of the week, you can expect to know for certainty, okay, is there a future into one relationship, or into one partnership, all right, or into one, how can I put it into words, or into one interaction as well. Is there a future out there, or should you go forward and look for something else? And even if it turns out that you gotta look for something else, a new perspective in front of you is going to emerge very, very soon. However, I need to warn you here, do not be aggressive. Being aggressive, you know, being bruisey, being demanding is not going to play out very, very well, because it's going to feel like you are using people rather than helping them, okay? That your incentive is hidden, all right? You do have a hidden agenda, you do have a hidden incentive, which is not the truth. So for that reason, Virgo, take it easy, guys. Tread carefully, take care, and just go about with harmony forward, and that way you just cannot go wrong throughout the week. Nonetheless, that by you helping people, your problems are gonna start resolving as well. Liz, thank you so much for your $20 support. Thank you, Liz. You make sure that you do stay by the end, where you're gonna have your personal reading for the week, or if you can't stay by the end, you can find the video of the live stream a couple of hours after the live stream is done under this section live of the YouTube channel. The live streams are no longer posted in the video feed, but into the live feed instead. All right. So next. And by the way, Mattia, I believe. Yep. Reading for the soccer game Croatia-Brazil. Hoping Croatia team to win. That's a different breed of tarot which I do not know, Mattia. There is a way, but it's just I get it always wrong. There is a, for example, Five of Pentacles. If it falls Five of Pentacles, then that's favorable. I don't know the cards when it comes to competitor gaming and sport. That's a completely different narrative of tarot cards. Okay, I will try my best, Mattia. I will try my best, but I don't guarantee that, you know, I will be able to I will be able to say true about up until this point I have failed every time. Okay, because it's a completely different way of reading the cards, like with the dreams, all right? Or like, for example, astrology. One aspect could mean one thing when it comes to relationship, but medical astrology, it means completely different thing, okay? It has nothing to do with relationship whatsoever. Or, for example, political astrology or financial astrology, etc., etc. So I'll try. If you do want to change it, okay, if you do want to change your question, or if you do want just a weekly reading, just let me know into the comments and I'm gonna go for it. So moving on, next we do have Libra. Let me put you into the list. Have a sip and move on. Page of Wands. It's the first one, followed by the Four of Swords. Ooh, it's gonna be a restless one. A lot of movement, a lot of dynamic, a lot of things to undertake. It's not even tackling, it's about undertaking. Afterwards, that's to be the Three of Swords, which actually, by the way, omit the Aries reading here. Actually, this works to your great benefit, having the Three of Swords into a third position. Three of Swords into the third position, especially in a follow-up of the Page of Wands, it kind of means relentless, it means unyielding, it means I do not give, I deny failure, right? It's just, I will never gonna let that thing happen. And the final card, that's gonna be the Eight of Wands. Okay, so a bit of an underwhelming card at the end, Libra, to be honest. Eight of Wands, people see it as a very positive card, but remember one thing. While the Eight of Wands gives you a lot of options forward, not every option actually is beneficial or meant for you. So it will be important, Libra, no matter what you do face as a new thing, as a new project, for example, spouse or whatever the case, because the Page of Wands pretty much promises that this is a week that there are going to be a lot of new stuff that you are to see, right? So you literally got to be open for anything new, and as the page falls, as a manifestation, you will be surprised. Most of these new aspects or new stuff are going to be quite surprising for you. And that is exactly why you are going to be restless, right? You ain't going to be able to figure out which one to jump into, so you will want to be a part of all of them, which you will be able to a certain extent, right? Or rather, like at the beginning, you will be able to. So you need to differentiate what's enterprise it's meant for you and you can carry on with, or which enterprise you should not explore. And this is where the trap really is, because it does look like that this week is going to be a very entrapping one. Three of Swords into the third position, it's like a correctional exam. It's like an exam you have failed and now you do have a second chance to pass this time around. So basically these are situations which you, or rather like enterprises, which are very similar to enterprises you have failed before. Like a type of a client that you could not meet the months before, or like a type of a person that you couldn't endure within a relationship with, okay, or a type of friend that you have disappointed in a certain way. So that type of an enterprises are those which are meant for you, so you can fix, you can prove yourself that you grew, you are not gonna try this time, you are simply gonna be better, and by that, this time around, you are, go figure, succeed, instead of, you know, being, I don't want to say down in the dumps, but feeling like there is a potential you haven't developed back in the days. And also, Libra, prepare, guys, because there are going to be a bunch of good newses that are going to come your way as well. Oh, and one last thing before I move to Scorpio here. That is going to be the week where you're going to realize that you actually can be quite independent, in a sense of that you are very, very strong on your own, and you do not need certain dependencies, certain strings, someone to hold your hand, someone to push you forward, or hey, you can do it yourself, and therefore you can, how can I put it into words, you can feel yeah, it's more independent, but as well, it's gonna feel more rewarding. That is what I'm trying to say. And you should be careful as well when you do interact with people, because if you do make kind of like sharp jokes, I don't know how to explain it in English, but it is like those kind of jokes that are a little bit insulting, okay? They are going to be gravely insulting. It's people are going to be that are around you, they are going to be very touchy this time around, for the duration of the week, that is. Right, so that was Libra. Now moving on, next we do have Scorpio. Well, we do have the Devil. Oh, that's a great start. With the Sun, it's not a great start. With the World, that's gonna be an important week, and I do have a very, very important event happening throughout the week, and it is the Magician. Gosh, I don't know what to say. That Sun, well, it is a good ending, okay, Shakti. It's not a good start, but it is a good ending, right? And it's not a good start because of that Sun being into the second position. Now, when the Sun is into the second position, that kind of speaks that things are not going to happen with ease, all right? It's like it's always going to feel that we are struggling more than we should. It's just, it's not natural. It will feel like we are giving twice or even triple than what we're getting. And the only thing that I can figure out that this is happening, it is because, you know, first you gotta work to build up a name before you actually can build up gains, right? That is the only way how I can interpret it into that narrative, because this is strictly well, it's not exactly business. That is for the business interpretation of the reading, right? It's just you gotta let people know you for who you are before you actually can make a monetary gains and success. Other than that, okay, things are gonna work out exactly as a procedure. That is, things are gonna work out exactly as we are not planning, but anticipating them to work. It's just the rewards are not going to be what we have expected, right? And that is, guys, because we are a long way of perfection. And the testament for that is the magician. What I mean is that we are yet to show those people in business what we are truly capable of. This week, we are showing them the tip of the iceberg, but what is beneath the surface, they are barely scratching it, right? They're barely scratching it, and little by little, we are truly going to start impressing our boss or the people we are working with or working for, or, you know, working about, whatever your business is. Relationship wise, this week could seriously provoke a conflict with close people which are not spouses. They're not boyfriends or girlfriends or husbands or wives. They are more of a friends, family members, right? It is because throughout the week our yearnings are gonna lead us to an individual, in case those cards are manifesting for your relationship, all right, that will be highly disliked, okay, by those people. That is because they will think that this is not us, all right. We are so off the mark with the individual that we kind of like marked as a potential suitor. But little do they know it is that that person actually accepts us for who we are, and we are to see that by the end of the week. So no matter what anybody else sees or thinks or anticipates, we are to find our match, should a match it is what we are after. Again, this week it is entirely up about what we are yearning. We are yearning for growth into our career. We are gonna have it. It is just, you know, first we have to build up our name. If we yearn for a relationship, we are gonna have it, but again, or the opportunity for it, that is, but again, that will be severely disliked by other people, and is not going to feel that that is actually fitting very naturally within our domain and our environment. But the biggest thing about this reading, guys, it is that this is a week where you get to satiate the needs, all right? We get to satiate the yearnings of our souls, the desires that we do have, and whatever we are to create throughout the week to end up in, whether a business, a job, relationship, friendship, it's gonna be there to stay. So I do hope that you are very aware what you want. Sometimes you get what you want just to realize that that's something you do not. So make sure that you are fully aware of the gravity of what you want, because it's happening, right? It's happening within the week. So that's for Scorpio, and now the second free reading contest is about to start. If you do want to claim that free reading, all you gotta do, guys, is just input a question you want me to read for with tarot cards, and in about 5 minutes I'm gonna pick one of your questions, if there are any, of course, and I'm going to perform a professional reading on it. Yeah, it is quiet tonight, but I don't mind. And bear in mind, Tammy, that this is a little bit off chart. Usually Thursdays I am doing you know, what do you need to know, or a moon reading. So people are not used to see the weekly in Thursdays, right? And when you do live streams or whatever the case, when you do YouTube in general, consistency, you gotta be consistent with what you do. Start changing the content out of the blue. It's just, you know, people don't tune up. And yeah, that's another thing. Not everyone has something to say. Oh, Tommy, for that I gotta use another system, which is the Lenormand system. If you agree to it, because I will not gonna use it on my own discretion. All right, you gotta, or on my own account. You gotta agree for such a reading, because they can show you literally anything, good or bad. All right, because the major change may not be something positive. Just so you know. £168. How much kilo that is? All right. Let me calculate that. About 72 kilo. How tall are you? That's such a deja vu. Oh my god. That about the Saturn, Taco, and about your wife. That's a deja vu. I think I saw that thing before. This exact message before. Wow. All right, am I on the right path? Susie asks. Well, luckily Saturn is in my 11th house, I believe. All right, Susie, according to these cards that we do have, Nine of Pentacles, the Devil, Ten of Swords, you are to the path of success. That's not exactly the right path in the sense of life purpose. In fact, the path that you are, or the substantial or the essential direction in your life, that thing does not, how can I put it into words? It's not influenced by the path you are asking right now. So Well, long story short, Susie, if I were you and I had those cards, I wouldn't sway. At least not for now. And having that 10 of swords next to the 9 of pentacles, one wrong mistake, one wrong step in, gone, right? So also you gotta be quite careful and calculative about the thing. Well, Taco, we wouldn't have it any other way, mate. Of course we are black sheep. Well, Jasmine, you answered my question then, my lifelong question, why my life sucks. Is because almost all of my planets are there, 12th house. Oh, not all, but half of them. Literally half of the planets are there. For a couple of minutes, guys, and then I'm gonna do the last 4 star signs. Then another free reading is gonna take place, and after that, the super chat readings. So, no, they aren't. Well, if I am rising Aquarius, then oh no, yeah, you are right. You're right, because the one before Aquarius, it's Capricorn, and I have nothing in Capricorn. So that's not the reason why my life sucks. Actually, my life doesn't suck that much. I mean, it's very uneventful, which most people think that sucks. But actually, I do see it as a peaceful life. Uh, 12th house 12th house is Capricorn, right? It has to be Capricorn. Yeah. It's just I kind of like I mixed Aquarius with yeah, it's a little bit difficult to think because I'm imagining the star sign the star signs according to my language, and sometimes I kind of like I mix them up. But yeah, you're right. I have nothing in the 12th house. I don't have anything in Capricorn. So yeah, oh my god, who? It's Aquarius. Wait, that's well, I know nothing of astrology, so Pisces Moonbeam is right here, right? She knows better. She knows best, actually. If she says that I have nothing there, then I have nothing there. Well, Tammy, if you get lonely, just find something you love doing, right? Find a nice show, a nice book, or anything that you love doing, and the loneliness is gonna be gone. Um, I don't want to lie to you, Taco. I don't have any feelings. Okay, I mean, I can't have a vibe. It's just it's not how I do operate. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense, Pisces Moonbeam. Yeah, that makes sense. Because I figured, well, if it is Aquarius, then Aquarius is my first house, right? So Capricorn should be my 12th. But I guess it's a bit more complicated than that. Alright, next one, we do have Sagittarius, where I do have a bunch of planets in. Eight of Cups, followed by Three of Swords. Moving on, next we do have the Six of Cups as a Sagittarius, and the final one, that's going to be the Page of Swords. A lot of regret there will be within the week. Needless one on top of that. Needless regret that we are leaving something behind. Now, something behind, it's a very generic and obscure, for a lack of a better word, explanation. So how things are gonna happen here, Sagittarius, it is that we are, and I'm saying we because my moon is there, and also a bunch of other planets. So we are to see that there is no point into we investing, for a lack of a better word. There is no point we loving someone because they are not going to return their love, our love at all. Or there is no point, busting our asses for our job because that job is never gonna appreciate us. That is just for example, right? There is no point chasing that person because they're never gonna pay attention to us. There is no point trying to convince someone how truthful we are because they're never gonna believe it one way or another. So we are gonna see that there is no point into a certain situation, and therefore the only healthy thing we get to do is just walk away from it, just move on toward the future, which, by the way, according to these cards, it does hold a much better perspective. That will be a substitution, which means that whatever we are walking away from, the same thing will be, or rather like the same aspect is gonna be what the future holds, the near future holds, but in a different way. For that reason, our mind should be open for a variety, in a sense of is going to be the same type of thing. For example, if we are walking away from a relationship comes about, but it will be very unique, right? It will be unlike anything we have experienced up until this point, or we had to deal with. It's not about the experiences, it's more about what we are dealing with, okay? But until that substitution comes about, we will have that regret that we could have done it better, right? That we could have said something different, or we could have pushed here and there a little bit. Spoiler alert here, guys, we couldn't. Right, we could have not. It's just, that's how it stands. No matter what we did, this is how it ends, and we just have to kind of like leave it for now, right? Because that is not a closed door. This isn't how can I put it into words? This isn't a deal sealed, but it is more like a temporary state that later down the road into the future we can backtrack and try again within the job or within the relationship if we so much want to. So the best attitude we should have throughout the week itself is just go for the lack of a better word, the happiness. Whatever doesn't make you happy, it doesn't put a freaking grin on your face, leave it. You don't need it. In fact, it holds you back. This week it is not the premise, well, if I try hard, I will eventually get it. No, you won't, for what those cards are showing. So by the end of the week, by the way, some kind of a unexpected help may come your way. And when I say unexpected, I mean from the last place you have expected that help to come is gonna show up, and it will be for a very specific case, not for what you are walking away from, for a something different here. And also by the end of the week you may start feeling the need that you do have a little bit too much friends, that some of them are quite disingenuous, and therefore you are to initiate a purge in your social circle, which is going to be very, very healthy for you, obviously. Moving on, next we do have Capricorn. Capricorn, there we go. Eight of Swords for Capricorn, followed by the Page of Wands. Afterwards, that's going to be the Queen of Pentacles. And the final one, that will be the Seven of Swords. To the Queen of Pentacles, we do have the Two of Cups. So that's a relationship that you already have, right? As a general reading, this could be as well a business relationship. Also, although more likely it is to be a romantic one, or with a romantic incentive, that is. So what those cards are saying here, long story short, is that you can have it your way. Okay, yeah, at the end you can have it your way, but the way you address stuff, it needs to be tuned a little bit here and there. With the Eight of Swords being at the prime of the reading, couple of things. First, the way you try to explain yourself, it's a way that the other person just can't fathom, right? They just can't fathom. So you gotta try to play around with your words. You gotta try to be extra elaborative, so to speak. Do not presume that they know something, okay, or that they are guessing something. Try to explain it in a way that you are to, for example, if you are to explain it to your child, that is the way you are explaining it to your business partner, or to your romantic interest, or to your wife, or to your husband. That's one. And second, with the Eight of Swords being into the first position, you gotta kind of like open up a little bit, in a sense of that you should try something a little bit different here, because you are definitely not exploring or browsing, so to speak, all of the avenues of action that you do have. To the Page of Wands, the card is the Justice card. So that's another person. So we do have two people, one that you are in a partnership with, another which is demanding your attention. You have a contract with that person, or some kind of tie, some kind of strings with them, and those strings are interfering unintentionally. So that person, which is the Page of Wands, they don't have the intention to interfere with your interaction with the Queen of Pentacles, but it is how it's happening here. And you do have a responsibility toward the Page of Wands. Certain responsibilities, no different than, for example, you want to start working with the Queen of Pentacles, but currently you are working with the Page of for the Page of Wands, and you do have a contract with them, so it's not that easy for you to walk away. A bargain can be struck. It may be in your disadvantage, but a bargain can be struck. Ultimately, with the Queen of Pentacles, though, by the end, which could be a man or a woman or an organization, one more time, by the end you can have it exactly the way you want it, but once more time you gotta tweak it up. You gotta tweak your approach toward that individual. With him or with her, you have so much potential, you couldn't believe it. It will be a waste if you do not try to develop it. Okay. Should that be about romantic incentive? Make no mistake, no matter what that person say, they love you to the core of their bones. They love you in their guts, right? All right, moving on. Next, we do have Aquarius. Four of Pentacles for Aquarius, followed by the Seven of Cups. Moving on next for you guys, for us, because I am rising Aquarius, the Strength. And the final card, the Tower. Ooh. Give me a minute. That Tower manifests, well, it manifests one or the other way, but it manifests in extreme only if the Seven of Cups actually takes place. Otherwise, it's gonna be unmanageable. So basically, it's a conditional week. It depends on how we are gonna go about it. So if we do go about it by daydreaming and, you know, thinking that everything is a piece of cake, it's kind of like a joke, it's a walk in the park, you know, and we can handle it, man, that's like nothing. Oh boy, are we not up for a disappointment, because by the end of the week we are about to find ourselves under a crumbling structures. It's literally everything we are building is going to start crumbling on top of us. However, should we be, for the lack of a better word, grounded? We take it one thing at the time, no matter where, right? No matter should that be about the friendships or how we are presenting our work, all right, or how we are interacting with a love interest. Should we be once again a grounded, every move calculated in a way that it will ensure continuation rather than an ultimatum? Because ultimatum, it doesn't ensure continuation, but every move should open up, should leave the door open for one more event and one more event and so on and so forth. No different than, you know, if you go out on a date for a first time, pay the bill, and when they tell you, well, let's share, you can always say, well, you are gonna pay next time. You know, that is how you do ensure a continuation. All right, for example, when you are dating. Just the first thing that came to my mind. But yeah, once you do ensure a continuation, then you are about to avoid things kind of like going down the drain. Because by the end of the week, with that Tower card being there will be some unexpected circumstances that are going to threaten and jeopardize the security of your future that you are building throughout the week. Not your entire future, but about the enterprises that you are building, developing, growing throughout the week. And it will be up to you, you know, to diminish and mitigate the crisis, so to speak. And if you hadn't paid attention to the red flags throughout the week and you kind of like steadfasted yourself through the endeavors and through the undertakings, then you are for a huge crisis that you may lose almost everything in, But once again, if you had been meticulous, calculative, grounded, and taking things what at the time, then you almost ain't gonna feel it, all right? You ain't gonna feel the crisis that is going to ensue. And that is the reading for Aquarius that we do have. Basically, your future depends on it, or the stability of your near future depends on it, for what those cards can say. Moving on, next we do have Pisces. First one for Pisces, that's going to be the Six of Pentacles, followed by the Hierophant. Moving on next, that is going to be the Ace of Cups. And afterwards, that is going to be the High Priestess. So right off the back here, if it happens that you do fall in love throughout the week, and that love is shared, that is very important condition, then it will be unconditional, and or literally you are about to find your soulmate. All right, that is should you happen to fall in love, or you are loving someone as well. Other than that, Pisces, it seems that throughout the week, can I put it into words? Your worries are to be set to rest, so to speak, because you are about to see that your job is going to be there to stay at least for a little while. All right, you are to see that your relationship, if you do have one, is also there to stay, and you have nothing to worry about. All right, you are to see that your friends are going to be around you as well. It is just this week, it's a week where you are going to not just only see but also feel that you do have a solid foundation. That's what all the week is all about for you guys, that the foundation that you can lean on, step on, and jump forward. It's just the only how can I put it into words, a specific aspect here. It is that if you do fall in love with someone and the love is shared as well, that is also another condition, then that's a soulmate of yours. It's not a joke, all right? It's not something that you can brush off very, very easily. It is just simply your souls are going to intertwine, and they are going to be in a knot like forever, for what those cards are saying. So that is that was for Pisces. Now the last free reading is going to take place. If you do want to contest it, or rather like take it, input a question into the comments down below. I'm giving you about 5 minutes to do so. After that, if there are questions, I'm going to pick one, performing a professional reading on it, and afterwards straight to the super chat. So if any of you guys decide to support the stream and the channel through super chat, you're going to have a reading guaranteed. And should your super chat be $20 or above, the reading is going to be that very same format I just did for the star signs. Four cards for the upcoming week. Let me get that Pisces off. A Pisces glyph off. 2.5 minutes left if you do want to claim the reading. If not, I'm just gonna move on to the super chat readings, guys. Well, welcome, Molly. What you're sad about? All right, no questions. So starting with the super chat now. Oh, okay, Shakti. Okay, I'm gonna answer that. Oh yeah, that's something to be sad for. My condolences. But Molly, best way you can give, the last gift to those who passed that you loved is to live a good life. Okay? So my opinion, my personal opinion, do what you need. I mean, do what you do to get through it, but try to, get up to on your feet and just keep on with your life to the best you can. Oh my god, I'm sleepy. Shakti, yeah, those are the cards. Okay. The sun with the devil. Afterwards is the Four of Wands. And it is the Ten of Pentacles. And it should be, yeah, it should be successful. That success should come by the end of February, mid of March, around that time. It's 4:44 a.m. here. Yeah, it will be successful. Just don't be way too demanding, right? Just don't be way too demanding with it, and everything is gonna be fine. All right, now to the super chat. First one is gonna be Jasmine, because she does have Lenormand cards to be drawn for. Uh, Let's check it out. All right. First event, Jasmine. Actually, this could be interpreted two ways. Either these cards are speaking about a success that is gonna settle in your family, or that you are gonna settle for someone that you are gonna have sex with many times, right? That's not just only a one night stand, so to speak, but it's gonna be for years, more like a friends with benefits type of a thing. Most likely though, the first one, when I heard them, that was the first thing, that was the first impression of mine. There is a success settling within the family, although I need to tell you as well the other interpretation of the cards. The second event, it's a relationship that you are gonna end up with. So maybe it is the first one, right? Someone that you're gonna end up having friends with benefits, and that friends with benefits develops into a relationship with it. This is a this is not just only a relationship, Jasmine. These cards are showing a caring one, all right? Someone that is gonna take care of you, is gonna provide anything you need. So it could be as well a marriage also. It could lead to marriage as well. Bear in mind, this is a sequence. The first, the second, okay, event. And then the third one, I cannot decipher the third one. It has something to do with a home or with a domain. And basically that's I will say it that way, okay? What it says, it's a secretive personality within the home or within the domain. Maybe you will, and that is you, right? That is how people see you. So maybe you're gonna have some to hide, some kind of a secret about your domain or about your home that you will have to hide, right? That will be the third event. But the big one, it is the second one. So yeah, after the success or the success settles or the sex starts, very soon after that, you're gonna find yourself being wrapped in a love game, in a relationship. All right, next news, Devon. Your week news. 10 of Cups with the 7 of Wands. Okay. So throughout the week news, you will have to avoid hostility. It's because just not much can be done about that. There are going to be people that are going to be hostile, right? And the only thing that you are going to accomplish when you do address that hostility is just spoil, pollute, taint your experiences. So instead, should there be a hostility that addresses you, all right, just don't ignore it, all right? Don't pay attention to it. Just ignore it and carry on with your deeds, with what you are, what you're used to do. Because other than that hostility, the week is going to be very pleasant for you. It's just you are going to feel pleasure of everything you do aside from addressing hostility. Okay, you will have a great time at work. You're going to have a great time with your friends if you do have any plans with them. Right, you're going to have a great time at home. It just is going to be one great week if you do not let people to taint it for you. Okay, so that is how your week is going to go. Next, we do have Chandra. Oh, and by the way, you can expect to have no problems. Okay, this is going to be a problemless week. Problems are not going to arise for you. All right, Chandra. Those are the cards for you. We do have the World, Three of Swords, Page of Wands, which, by the way, the additional card, it is the King of Swords. So Page of Wands, Eight of Cups. All right, Chandra, so this is going to be the culmination of a week. What I mean is that this week you are going to wrap something around with the World card. The World, it is the culmination, like I said, of stuff. That is the peak, the acme of it. That is like finalizing a project, or rather like the negotiations of a project. That is like, landing a job, for example. Basically, the World refers to an endeavor you have worked for a very, very long time, and now is coming to wrap around. Now, wrapping around, that's not going to be the issue. The issue is going to be you making a retrospection, because making that retrospective, basically you will start thinking that you could have done it better, which is not pretty much true, right? What your where your, how can I put it into words, where your sight needs to be at, it's the future, not the past. Instead of thinking how you could have done it better, you should need to think of how you can make use of it in the future. What else can come out of it? Okay. And for that, there will be a person that is going to help you. So a fair share of well, maybe this is what they could refer to, Chandra, but it's basically a culmination. But the thing is that throughout the week, you are going to have a fair share of discussions with that individual. Basically, they will refer to ideas, what comes next. And they will have a lot of ideas, but not just only that, they will, with the idea, it will come a solution as well. How that idea can come true. What was the last card? Eight of Cups. Okay, so how, with this idea, how this idea could come to fruition. Now, there will be aspects into those ideas that you will dislike, but that is not gonna make them wrong. Okay, it's not gonna make them wrong. So by the end of the day, or rather like by the end of the week, you should take under consideration some of those ideas, or a ways forward, so to speak, that are compromisable, in a sense of that you can make a compromise and kind of like try it out, browse to see is it relates anywhere, or is it leading you anywhere. That is because according to these cards, can I put it, not just only according to these cards, that's a general rule that you cannot be 100% perfect, and this is a week that you should accept that. You're welcome, Shakti. Have a great one. But other than that, Chandra, it's a successful, because we do have the Three of Swords into the second position, which basically means that that was a successful season, if these cards are referring to the season. Because the Three of Swords being there speaks that you thinking that you could have done it better. It's just, you know, you're wasting energies, because it's even if you could, it wouldn't be that much better, that is gonna be worthing the efforts that would have required, so to speak. All right, Taco, next week. And also, I will also do something else for you, Taco. All right, Taco, your full recovery according to these cards, but again, Tarot is not meant to read health, but according to the cards, uh, your recovery is far away, mate. I mean, I want to give you a good answer, but it's just I can't lie to you or to anyone, and it's far away. I can't tell you when, but it is far away. Your full recovery, that is. That is not to be said that you may not start feeling improvement soon, but the full recovery, it's pretty much far away. That said, let's check on your week. And again, take it with a grain of salt. Tarot is not designed to read for health. Other than that, Taco, uh, well, I know no other way. Okay, I know no other way. Right. So, other than that, these are the cards for the week as the message, and it will be an enthusiastic one. That is because, according to these cards, having the strength being at the prime of the reading, Taco, you are to kind of like lean or cling, or I don't know how to put it into words, lash, so to speak, on an aspect. It could be an enterprise, it could be an opportunity, or anything. All right, for all I know, it could be a video game as well. That is going to pretty much uplift your spirit. All right, is going to uplift your experience, how you feel. Bottom line is that you're gonna start feeling better in a line of your situation currently. And bottom line is that throughout the week you are to see that improvements can be accomplished in different ways, right? And any way that you can browse, it's gonna be a welcomed way. I don't know if you are doing any work, Taco, now. Maybe you are writing songs, because you are a musician, you said. But by the end of the week, if you are doing work, mate, by the end of the week, you are going to complete a larger portion of work than you have expected, although the work may not end up the way you want it, right? So basically, you are writing, for example, a song, and it feels like it never ends up the way you want it to end up. Nonetheless, is gonna pass a great message. That is just for example. So although the work doesn't end up the way you wanted it, it's gonna be a great work that you are gonna do by the end of the week, and is going to be well accepted. And furthermore, throughout the week, yeah, too sick to work. I'm just trying to cover all the fields here, mate, because I don't know what's aside from recovering, what else you are doing. But also those cards are saying that throughout the week you will be able to convince whether people or a specific individual into your opinion and into your state in a way that they're not gonna harp anymore after that. They're not gonna bother you. All right, and they will pretty much gonna accept what you think, how you think it, and what your anticipations pretty much are. But by the end of the week, you're gonna feel already that you need to move on to the next thing. That's the bottom line here. It's just that you do need, or rather like that you are ready, so to speak, to move on to the next thing. But yeah, man, I'm sorry to say, but according to the cards, your full recovery, it's there is time before it comes. All right, moving on. Next, we do have Anna. I hope the time wrong with that. Okay, I really hope the time wrong with that. All right, Anna, those are your cards. We have Four of Pentacles, Judgment, the Hangman, and then it is the Three of Swords. And that Three of Swords, it is very much linked with the Judgment, and that is Anna, an underwhelming feeling that you may experience by the end of the week. It is because the week is gonna hold nothing important in it. I just, even though something feels important throughout the week that is gonna carry on merit in the future, it won't. So if you look at it from the bright side, that's a week that you can, do a mistake and get away with it. that's a week where you can you know, experiment and still get away with it, and so on and so forth. It's just, that's a week, Anna. This is more of a guidance reading than anything else, but this is a week where you can, how can I put it into words, lay back and just enjoy the show. And that is, by the way, what the reading advises you, having that hangman into the third position. It pretty much speaks that right now, on the important stuff that there are, right, the more you try to push forward, the worse you are to make the situation, because the time haven't came yet where efforts are to be exerted. That is at least according to the cards. So it's the week doesn't require much trust from your behalf into the universe, okay, and as well into your own results that you have accomplished thus far. That Three of Swords at the end only fully manifests if you do play out the Judgment card, thinking that, you know, you are screwing up something very important. And the Three of Swords are the negative thoughts you're gonna have. That's how could you kind of like shoot yourself in the foot in such a way, while in reality you haven't. So it's all a fallacy that you may think in a ill way. And in a positive way, that is if you do lay back throughout the week and just, you know, carry on with your life to the best of your ability, being carefree. That is the resilience, you know, to endure, if you will, criticism and negative comments on the people that are around you, because in their eyes you are gonna look maybe lazy, maybe disinterested, maybe inactive, you know, unengaging, uninitiative, so to speak. But you will know that simply now is not the time, right? Because basically you can't force life on demand. Time comes when you have to act, but there are times where you just have to chill and enjoy it. And now is one of those times. This week is one of these times that you should lay back and just enjoy your life. Liz, let's check on your week. Liz, these cards reflect to your question from the free reading, okay, that you claimed. There we go. We do have again the Nine of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Hangman are pretty much a testament that you should keep up doing what you are doing. The Hangman, it is basically the inactivity that you may end up with, like being idle, thinking that you are going to be laid off, for example, anyway, which is not true. And the Queen of Pentacles, it is basically the establishments and consolidating on your positions. So basically, if we are to extract something from this reading, it is that if you don't want to be laid off, Liz, this is the week you prove your assets, all right? This is the week that you prove that you are an asset to the company itself. But nonetheless, by the end of the week, Liz, you are to see that none of it matters, because whichever way this week turns out for you, you can compensate in the near, very, very near future with an enterprises of equal, if not bigger, worth with that Seven of Pentacles. So even if you end up losing your job, it's not going to be really a loss, but it's going to be a replacement. And same thing, by the way, relates to your love life, because should these cards refer to your love life, Liz, then within this week you may be, the word is not threatened, it's more like the person that you may be, that you may be in love with, that is if you are in love with someone, may try to what is the English word? Hold on a second. I need to find the English word for that. Blackmail. Oh my God. Basically, it is the same word for the two different words. But yeah, that person that you may be in love with, if you are in love with someone, will be tempted to blackmail you into doing stuff, and the blackmailing is going to be whether you do it or I'm gone. Well, off you go. Don't allow being blackmailed. Don't be afraid to be left alone, because even if that happens, you will find a much better match going down the road. But definitely that is a week that you should basically consolidate what you already have, because you can, and you should not miss that opportunity. All right, next one, that's going to be Mattia, and you asked about Croatia and Brazil. So let's check it out. Will I gonna be able to see who is gonna win or not, or who has a bigger chances to win or not? You're welcome, Liz. Okay. From what I can say from the cards, those are the cards. This is for Brazil. This is for Croatia. It will be a close match, at least according to these cards. I don't know, Mattia. I mean, they do not interpret the same way I know them. For what I know, unpleasant cards are actually positive for match games. So I will go with Brazil with a small margin, because they are very similar, right? They are very similar. And I will gonna draw cards for your week as well, because that's again, that was just for show, answering that question. But again, I am not an expert into reading tarot for sport. It's a completely different read, so I do not know anything about it. But as far as your week goes, it will be a very busy week, Mattia. We have those three cards, mostly business oriented, not mostly, but almost always going to be business oriented for what it seems, or managing your responsibilities, and it's basically things that are waiting for you to be addressed, and you will be capable to address all of them. It is just you will manage control over your life, so to speak, Mattia. And with that two of wands being next to the justice, you will reach results you strive for. These are not just only results, these are results you strived for, that you worked for, and you are to be rewarded with them. And not only that, but further results can be accomplished into the future, but you have a choice to decide, do you really want to go down that road, or do you want to start doing something else? Now, something important about the week also, it is that while you are going to have the energy to address everything, to be at all places at all time, you may want to consider spending giving some time for yourself, like, for example, going out for shopping, or just to watch a movie, just to have a beer or a wine, if the wine is your thing. All right, at the end of the evening, it is just you need to spare some personal time throughout the week. Not need, but it will benefit you greatly if you do spare some personal time. Other than that, you will that week is going to be a joke in a for you, in a sense of that no matter what the week throws at you, you will be able to manage it with such a subtlety. People around you will have a hard time believe with how much ease you actually tackle and handle matters and responsibilities and enterprises and anything that the week has in store for you. Perfect time management, it is what you are going to have, and also perfect sense astute discernment how much effort one or another thing needs in order to be just right, okay, to be pushed forward. So you are not going to overkill nor underperform. And so this is going to be tonight's live stream, guys. Thank you so much for attending, and thank you so much for your generosity as well. We're going to see each other very, very soon, and until then, bye.